Hey everyone, Corey here. I wanted to take a few minutes today to talk about something that really stayed with me, and that's the Untangling Our Roots Summit, which is presented by Right to Know, DN Angels, and the National Association of Adoptees and Parents. So, back in 2024, that was my first time attending Untangling Our Roots, and I'm going to be honest, walking in, I felt a little imposter syndrome creeping up on me. So, Kendall and I are partners, as you know. His life was turned upside down by DNA discovery, and while that discovery didn't happen to me directly, it absolutely happened to us. Still, as I walked in, I could hear a voice in my head saying, "Do I really belong in this room?" Well, I got the answer probably in about 30 seconds. The moment that I was in the space, something clicked. Nobody there was gatekeeping pain, no one was ranking their stories, nobody was keeping score. Everybody there already spoke the same language. The space was filled with adoptees, donor-conceived people, NPEs, MPEs, birth parents, adoptive parents, partners, spouses, friends, all of us together. And instead of feeling like an outsider or just a partner, I felt welcomed, I felt seen, I felt included. It was the small moments that kept stacking up. A nod from across the room, a knowing look, conversations that started halfway through because nobody needed the backstory. There was this shared sense of recognition and relief, like everyone could finally exhale. And I remember thinking very clearly, oh, these are our people. What struck me most was how different it felt from online spaces. The online communities matter a lot, they're very vital, but being in the same room just hits differently. Making eye contact, hearing someone's voice crack when they tell their story, sitting shoulder to shoulder with people who understand the weight of secrets, loss, and identity shifts, not just intellectually, but in their bodies. Being physically present changed everything. It took something that had felt abstract and made it deeply human. And right there, whatever imposter syndrome I walked in with just vanished. So this year, Kendall and I are going together, and we couldn't be more excited. We're showing up as partners, we're both speaking, and after everything we've talked about on Family Twist, after everything Kendall has shared about his own journey, walking into that space side by side is going to feel really powerful. Now, I'll be interviewing filmmaker Lisa Brenner about One Big Happy Family, a film that takes an honest look at donor conception, identity, and what happens when the truth shows up later than you expected. It's funny, it's raw, and it names things a lot of people in these communities feel but haven't always had the language for. Kendall will be moderating a panel called Who Am I? Is This Me? A Male Perspective. It'll be a conversation about identity and what it means for men when their sense of self gets shaken overnight. These are voices that don't always get centered in these conversations, and they deserve the space just as much as anyone else's. And here's the part that I really want people to hear. Untangling Our Roots is for adoptees, it's for donor-conceived people, it's for NPEs and MPEs, it's for birth parents and adoptive parents. It's also for partners, spouses, adult children. It's for anyone whose life shifted the moment the truth came out. There's no single way to belong there. This is the largest gathering of these communities anywhere in the world, and it only happens every other year. So if you miss it this March, the next one isn't until 2028. And I honestly don't think you can recreate what happens in that space online. There's something different about being in a room full of people who just get it. People who don't flinch at your story, who don't rush you, who don't minimize what you've been through. So if you've been on the fence about attending, consider this your nudge. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to know exactly where you fit. You just have to show up as you are. These communities have changed us, and for the better. When people ask me about Summit, I say it was a life-changing weekend, and it truly was. Kendall and I can't wait to experience it together with all of you. If you want to learn more or you're thinking about joining us, the Untangling Our Roots Summit is happening this March in Atlanta. It's a weekend full of conversations, panels, screenings, and connection, all centered on adoption, donor conception, NPE and MPE discovery, and the ripple effects that come when the truth comes out. You can find the full schedule, speakers, and all the registration details at untanglingourroots.org. We can't wait to see you in the room. Thanks for listening, and remember, family secrets are the ultimate plot twist. The Family Twist podcast is presented by Savoir Faire Marketing Communications and produced by How the Cow Ate the Cabbage, LLC.